head coach AnnMarie Gilbert. And in the middle, we have Jayda Luckie. And on the left, we have Ashley Smith for today's game. So we'll just, Coach, if you could make a comment on today's game, then we'll open it up for questions.
Well, I'd first like to say, we just really tip our hat to Wheeling Jesuit. They really started off playing, a great basketball game. They were executing, they were hitting their shots early, and it took us a while to kind of get settled in. We started a different rotation today, and it took us a while to get going, but I'm really pleased with how we played, particularly in the third quarter, holding Wheeling Jesuit to just 10 points and just 13 points in the fourth quarter. So I think our defense picked up late, and much of that credit goes to these two young ladies, Jayda Luckie and Ashley Smith, who did a great job attacking offensively and putting a little pressure on them defensively. So overall, just to get a win in the first round of the regionals is just a blessing, and kudos to our team on a great job today.
And open up the floor for questions.
Coach, it looked there like at one point in the second half you guys went to some variation of a 3-2, and that, particularly your length, really affected them. I thought that changed the game around.
That really was our primary defense that we really wanted to play much of the game in, but even in playing that a few possessions early on, they got away from us. So we kind of matched up, went man for a short possession, and then came back in the third quarter to that long zone, and I thought that was the difference in the ball game. It gave them great difficulty.
You guys forced 22 turnovers. Having played them last year, they are prone to turning the ball over. Was the idea to pressure them from the very beginning to the very end?
It was. We really wanted to keep our foot on the pedal defensively, and we got in a little bit of foul trouble, but we just stayed poised, and I was real glad we didn't get rattled. We had several people pick up their second or third foul a bit early, but we had to keep the pressure on. We were willing to roll the dice. If it would have, a couple people would have fouled out, we'd have rather had that than take that pressure off. And I just thought that at the end, Jayda Luckie blocked a key 3 by 32, and pressure was the key for that team. We knew they weren't really deep, and if we could keep the pressure on, we could wear them down. And I just kept believing in this team, and they're a resilient team, and I'm just really proud of our defense today.
Jayda, what was the difference from when Wheeling Jesuit really had, was kind of in control in the second half when you took control? What was the difference there from your perspective?
Could you repeat that question?
What was different when Wheeling Jesuit had the first half lead from the second half when you guys really started to play better? Coach kind of alluded to the zone, but what else were you seeing out there that, what did Wheeling Jesuit do really well to start out with?
They were hitting more shots in the first half than the second half. I feel like we did better in the second half locating shooters. We played more together as a team in the second half, and we came together and made tough shots in the second half, because first half we couldn't really make easy shots. So,
Did you guys maybe play with more energy in the second half
yes,
too?
Yes.
It starts with our defense.
Yes.
As you can see, that led to our offense.
Coach, was that maybe a polite suggestion at halftime?
It was a polite suggestion. It was a polite suggestion. And I don't think this group wanted to go home. We said we wanted to be here through Monday, and we meant that. And I really felt they showed it. And, it's hard. The season is so long. We've got some new players on this team. These two young ladies are returning players. So they just knew we needed to step up and play with a little bit more intensity. And I really thought that both of them, they just did a great job just having better angles, cutting their players off when they were trying to get to the basket, making them make an extra pass. We were okay if their interior players scored, but we didn't want to give up too many threes. This team can really get hot from 3. They hit 4 in the first half, they hit 3 in the second, but overall, I think we did the job. We did the job defensively, and energy was definitely the key.
When you guys are pressuring defensively, do you ladies, can you kind of seek out the players that maybe as soon as they get the ball, they're wanting to get rid of it? Because I'm sitting on the sideline, it looked like they had a couple of players that didn't really want to deal with that.
Yeah, there are players, and that's when we have to trap on them, because they're going to give up the ball. But it's basically just our energy. We got to play defense wanting to get the ball and turn over the ball. So,
Another player that I thought did real well for us from the guard spot, Jamaica Ruffin. Number one, she's long. She was able to get a few steals toward the top of the key that led to run-out layups, and I think you hit the nail on the head. They were sensing a couple of those forwards that didn't really want to handle it as well, and we were able to get them right where we wanted them, and they turned that ball over, and I just thought that they just played right into our transition offense.
Did you feel like if you guys could ever get back into the lead, that it was going to be your game after that point?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The game really reminded me a little bit of the CIAA tournament. The score was 61-61, us versus Johnson C. Smith, and we did take the lead by 3, but then we missed some critical free throws down the stretch. But there was a moment in this game where we were, right after halftime, we were trying to take the lead. We were down 6. I knew if we got that lead, we were going to run away with it, and we were able, much differently than in the CIAA tournament, to get the lead and sustain it. So that was the key, just taking that team. I felt we took their heart, we took their momentum away, and they just really didn't have anything to fall back on. So just a great start to regional play.
We know that core starts with leadership, and certainly you have it. As you look at this year, were you able to take anything from last year's experience into this year, or just believing in your ladies?
It starts with believing in the young ladies, but, we've had a lot of ups and downs this season, and we've overcome all adversity. And, we didn't get all the calls that we wanted today. They certainly didn't go our way, but we never got rattled. And that's the one thing, nobody lost their composure. Nobody lost their cool. So I think, taking something away from last year, I think this team has matured, very similar to last year's team. And I'm just really proud that we have a deep bench. We played 10 players in the first quarter alone. So that was able to give us a feel for who was ready to play, who could step up and play. And we had the right group and the right chemistry at the end.
Call that coaching.
Yeah. It's a great feeling when it works well.
Coach, obviously Brittany didn't play. Was that a coach's decision? Is she injured? I don't want to pry, but...
Right. Violation of team rules. We're very big on just maintaining a standard. And whether you are our best player or you are our 15th player, you have to follow the rules. If you're late, if you don't make curfew, things of that nature add up in our point system. And she didn't make the cut. We know that she is a CIAA leading scorer, but I believe in this team, whether the first player is here or the 5th is missing or the 15th. And we knew we were rolling the dice, but we believe in each other. And Brittany knows that she's got to do some things better in order to be a part of the NCAA tournament, the biggest stage that she could play on in her college career. And she missed that this year. So, I'm just really pleased with how the team has responded. They know they have big shoes to fill, and we got double figures from 4 kids today. We're going to need a lot more of that, certainly tomorrow. But so basically just a violation of team rules and not meeting the standard. And guess what? Doesn't matter how good you are.
And you call that coaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if there are any other questions?
That's all.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ashley. Thank you, Jayda.
Thank you.